Hey everybody, let's talk about the week of February 22nd. Bitcoin is trading at, wait for it, 57,600. So what's going on with Bitcoin? Is it being held long-term or short-term? I deferred to the guys over at The Compound, which is on YouTube. Check them out for yourself. Great shows over there with my buddy Josh Brown as well. But here are the guys talking about Bitcoin and trade velocity.
I just want to talk about Bitcoin for a second. We don't need to spend too much time here, but Phil Perlman showed these amazing charts from his blog on Osprey, which we'll link to. Two charts. One is the Bitcoin addresses holding more than $100 worth of Bitcoin. And this looks like it's about almost double what it was at the peak of 2017. And a lot of this is probably not just because people are buying larger dollar amounts, but because the price has gone up so much. So that one's a cool looking chart, not necessarily surprising or revealing. It's the next one that I want to.
So, but even in 2017, this was like 2 million. Now it's 14 million.
Oh, you know what? Okay. So that chart, that blow off top was actually in 2018. Interesting. I thought that was 2017. Okay. Anyhow, the next chart. So the velocity of Bitcoin has crashed, meaning people are buying and holding.
So this is the turnover of it. And it was actually the highest in 2013, it looks like.
And then 2017. So people were trading their asses off. And it looks like now people are buying and they're sitting on it.
So in 2017, it was 60%. Now it's 10%, 15% maybe? Do you think this is mostly just because it's held in the hands of so few people? Whatever, 5% of the people own 95% of it, and they're just sitting on it forever?
I think it's a combination of that and people just buying and not looking for the quick pop. I really don't know, but
maybe this is the asset though where I don't think people look at it like it's a stock, like they're buying Apple or Amazon and they're going to trim it at a certain point. I feel like people are betting on this is an all or nothing. I think people go into that. A lot of people go into that mindset of I'm just going to hold this and see what happens, and it's not worth it for me to get out at certain points, and I'm just going to see if this thing takes off like it could.
Well,
I think that's the way people approach this.
You and I were talking about how we view our portion of it, and this is the type of thing where if we're wrong and this goes to zero, so be it. But this is the type of thing that I don't want to sell early. I don't want to regret selling this at 50,000 and in 10 years it's at 600,000. And if we're completely wrong and it goes to 5,000 or zero, I'm fine with that.
This is basically a buy and hold forever for me, more or less.
So the guys are talking about the velocity slowing down, which means people are buying and holding. So, I mean, even I've thought about getting my feet wet here at 57,000 because I see 100,000 in the future. I think more companies get involved like Tesla and announce it publicly that they're going to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I think that holds up well. So let's talk about earnings real quick. Tuesday, Home Depot and Square are announcing. Square is a holding in my public portfolio, the K10,000, and also if privately I own it as well. So Square coming out with earnings on Tuesday, along with Home Depot, by the way. Wednesday, bookings or Booking.com, Lowe's, Overstock, and Redfin. These names will be familiar to you in the future. And Thursday, Airbnb. Let's take a look at Airbnb chart real quick. Airbnb with earnings coming up on Thursday is intriguing to me because I think a little bit more research is necessary. But the way that stock pulled back a little bit, has kind of poised for some potential movement after earnings. And the stock's kind of had a nice run, trading at about 200. It's got a nice upward trajectory. So I can't imagine, unless they absolutely disappoint and this thing sells off, it's probably going to have a continued trajectory upward. But again, Airbnb, something I'll be talking about on the Patreon page going forward. Also, First Solar. Let's take a look at First Solar. If you don't live in a cage, in a cave, you have your eyes on the alternative energy. First Solar kind of sold off. It's been crushed. It spiked up to a high of 111. It's down to $91. So it'll be really interesting to see how they report on Thursday. Moderna, and then Shake Shack is something I've talked about. I own it personally and have recommended for others to purchase it. This stock just doesn't stop. It just keeps going up. Here's take a look at a 1-year chart. So let's hope that they don't disappoint, and chances are they won't. If you're not familiar with Shake Shack, basically it's just a good place to tuck away your money. They're kind of like Chipotle was 2-3 years ago, where you'd bury your money in Chipotle, and basically you knew that whether the markets were up or down, you were going to get good ROI on your stock purchase. So Shake Shack has been absolutely on fire. And the final one I want to talk to you about, and this one I'm really excited about, Cathie Wood and ARK Investments has now added my baby. You know it. It's in the K10,000 VUZix. They are now the newest addition to the one of the ARK funds. The interesting thing about that is they also had an announcement, basically a study that was showing the benefits of using the Vuzix eyeglass technology. And if you're not familiar with Vuzix, they are some would say the leading edge technology with the wearable eyeglasses that are going to be used for virtual training. And there is a clinical research study, I think out of Louisville, that, don't hold me to it, that was taking a look at the benefits of medical residents wearing these devices and actually being able to see what the physicians see. So they're watching, for example, suturing from a first-person point of view, where the surgeon that they're working under is wearing these glasses and performing the sutures, and the students are able to see firsthand. I mean, this is really a technology that you're going to be hearing about, especially towards the middle of 2021. So the fact that ARK Investments has added them to their fund is really remarkable. And I drew a chart here. It just shows a really nice pattern, a trend upwards on Vuzix. And this is also heavily shorted. So I have some calls in the K10,000 portfolio. And if you become a member, you will see access to that portfolio and see just what's about to happen. I think it's really... There's potential for some short selling, a lot of really, really interesting things here for Vuzix. Ticker's VUZI, just added by ARK Investments. So take a look for that too. And other than that, I mean, Monday could be out of this world. Just to pay attention closely to that Vuzix chart and stock, and also Bitcoin. So anyway, good luck this week trading, and I will catch up with you guys on Patreon.